trying to justify why you should get what you want is kind of the mode that you're in. You've already done everything that matters. You've asked, it's in the vortex, cooperative components have already been gathered. All you got to do is find some easy matches that cause you to stop doing that thing you do while you're trying to justify the thing that hasn't happened, because in every moment you spend trying to justify something that hasn't happened, you're keeping it from happening. Who are you justifying to? Who is it that's going to grant you the golden key to your allowing what you want? There's nothing outside of you that's doing that. So you're distracting yourself from your normal pattern of thought by implementing a new pattern of thought, which is easy matches. We used to say, when you stop doing that thing that's keeping you from what you want will flow. And then we say, every time you're doing that thing that's keeping you from what you want, you don't feel good. That's a clue. Well, that's not that helpful, Abraham, to catch myself doing the blocking or doing the blind spot. So you want to do the other more frequently about more subjects. You want to just get in the habit of making easy matches. Mm-hmm. And you want to do it in every opportunity that you can. Esther was on an airplane on a Southwest flight the other day, and when she got on the plane, they told her that the plane was going to be absolutely full. She doesn't trust them. She doesn't care if it's full or not. She thinks everybody should have a seat, and she's happy to, but she plans, and she's usually the first one on the airplane, so she picks the seat that she wants. And so she sat there, and soon a lovely woman holding her little girl who looked like a little doll, too little to talk, but she looked all grown up, and they sat down, and then mother put her in the seat next to Esther. And she really liked that, and then her mother said to the little girl, but she was really saying it to Esther, I know she doesn't get to sit here. I'm just putting her here because she's going to sit on my lap. And Esther said, she may end up being able to sit there. You just never know. Well, soon the little girl started to fuss, and she wanted to sit in her mother's lap. And so she sat in her mother's lap, and she handed her baby doll to Esther. And so Esther held her baby doll, and then Esther put her baby doll in the extra seat and strapped her in. And then she wanted to unbuckle her, and then she wanted to buckle her, and then she wanted to unbuckle her, and then she wanted to buckle her, and then she wanted to unbuckle her, and then she wanted to buckle her, and then she wanted to unbuckle her, and then she wanted to buckle her. And Esther thought, I did that. And then Esther thought, my desire to entertain this little girl has already set things into something that's going to be problematic for her mother. And Esther thought, I hope someone else sits in that middle seat. And soon, the door was shut. There were people in the aisle, and a lovely woman came up and sat down. And they began talking. And she was a mother of 2 small children. And Esther thought, they hit the jackpot with each other. In other words, they were a perfect vibrational match. This was a woman who was not going to try too hard to entertain this little girl. She has kids of her own. She knows exactly how to behave. And Esther just sat there with a big grin on her face, and she just thought, things are always working out for me. Things are always working out. Big things and small things. And then Esther actually thought through the existing matches. I got to see these darling people. I got to see this cute little girl. I got to play with her for a minute. So many lovely matches that all took place that were so easy to define. When they're right under your nose, see them, comment on them to yourself, milk them, calibrate to them, find the vibrational essence of them, feel what they feel like to you, and let that be your quest. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for moments in time that feel like that. Now, there's probably a lot of people, even in this very well defined and vibrationally attracted room, who are or could think, that seems like making a big deal out of something that's not very important. And we say, sometimes the most important things aren't big deals. In fact, usually they're little deals. Do you know that your point of attraction, how the universe responds to you all day, every day, is not over the big stuff in your life. It's about stuff just like that. It's about your knee-jerk response to this or that or this or that or this or that. Because most people are not deliberately responding. Most people are just looking around and having a response, and looking around and having a response, and then wanting things to be different so that their responses can feel better. But when you show yourself that you can find the things that elicit from you the response that feels better, now you are in the driver's seat of all things wanted. There is nothing that you cannot be or do or have when you get that.